Hello everyone. So I know that the presentation of Lamentations of the Flame Princess products is often off-putting to humans. It's almost like the aesthetics of, say, a band calling itself God-beheading death metal, which I saw the other week, Sepulchral Curse. It's fucking amazing, you know. But it's like that aesthetic, it's like that's an ill fit to the majority of people wanting to play pretend and explore fantasy worlds with their friends. And what moron thinks the movies of Lucio Fulci, Jess Franco, and Lucky McKee are brilliant templates to use in commercial gaming products? Well, for those of you who wish they could get the forward-thinking, mind-blowing, I didn't know it could be like this flavors of LOTFP without the intense, antisocial, nihilistic, I expect some Manson family type headlines out of that camp any day now, again, attitude. You know, the type of person that wants their gaming to be fun and who wants to enjoy themselves while playing these games. Well, for those annoying life barnacles, I present to you the work of Kelvin Green, specifically Green Messiah. It is one of my favorite things that I've published. And the best thing is, there's like no pathetic personal stories to frame my talk about it. Well, maybe one. We'll see. Anyway, Green Messiah. When I got the Green Messiah text, I went out of my mind about how good it was. It was just the most clever thing, bar none, and I had a smile just frozen on my face the whole way through, right up until I got to the end and I remembered what my life was like. Because I'm apparently doing that as a gimmick now. Yay. But yeah, really, this thing really did delight me, and imagine how something must be to get me to use the word delight. My instant reaction is that Kelvin is the RPG equivalent of John Landis or Joe Dante. The talent is so damn obvious. I felt that sort of switching and combining whimsy and horror. The people that could do The Howling, Gremlins, American Werewolf in London, Twilight Zone, but also Police Squad, Trading Places, and Amazon Women on the Moon. I feel that same kind of energy whenever I see new Kelvin Green work. Two comments here. Not that I should connect this comment to Dante, Landis, or Green, but horror and comedy are together unique. Not unique. Not if there's two, they're not unique. They're unusual together in that in the end, quality doesn't matter. It's the damnedest thing. If you laugh at it, it's a good comedy. And if you don't, it's not. Regardless of the craft that's been put into it, regardless of all the other things that are considered good or not. And it's the same with horror. It either disturbs you in some way, getting that horror, terror, or disgust response, or it doesn't. And the highest craft and quality may just be completely irrelevant to achieving that goal. As someone who makes this stuff, it's maddening. The other comment is the embarrassing story, a little bit. John Landis was a guest at the Night Visions Film Festival in Helsinki in December 2021, the first festival back after the pandemic shut down. I just happened to run into him in the lobby of one of the theaters, and I just started blubbering at him. Oh, I'm a big fan. I've loved all your stuff for 30 years. Ah! He told me he appreciated it, and he went on his way. But 2021? Actually, I'd been a fan for 40 years. It had been 40 years I'd been a fan. It's like, shit, I'm old. And in my fanboy blubbering, I left out 10 whole years of being a fan. So yeah, I guess that's only mildly embarrassing, meeting a titan and losing all sense of time and space. But yeah, anyway. Talking about the adventure, Green Messiah. A space vegetable elf baby crashes to Earth in rural England, and the kindly Clark family, Jenny and Joseph, rescues it and raises it as their own. Robert. Oh, such a sweet-sounding story, isn't it? But not really, because the space vegetable elf retains its own instincts, and space vegetable elves are not too compatible with human flourishing. So it has begun using its space vegetable elf powers to take over the world. But only just begun. And that's when the player characters stumble onto the situation. In effect, it's a combination of Superman, the Color Out of Space, Swamp Thing, the Alan Moore run of course, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And yes, there are vegetable clone pod people. Will your characters be the next victim? And the writing is, to me at least, just funny. For the section on the Body Snatcher clones and how they work, it has little rules bits labeled things like, "Change, my dear, and not a moment too soon," and "I know now why you cry, but it is something I can never do." There are inset boxes that say things like, "In your author's experience, most players are just one bad sugar rush away from going full Florida man." Or how about the inset box labeled "The Snyder Cut"? Sardonic referees might decide that if a character's mother is called Jenny and Robert finds out, he will spare the character. All the little jokes and references serve multiple purposes in a Kelvin Green book. One, it makes them actually entertaining to read. It's not like trying to work your way through stereo instructions. It's personable, it's friendly, it's conversational. Second, it gives Kelvin an identity as an RPG writer. I mean, think about your favorite RPG authors. Now articulate to yourself, in your own words, that style. Not the style of the product, but their actual writing style. Do they have one? And the most important bit, why this style works, is that it imprints actual relevant in-game information into your brain by association. That's the brilliance. There's so much gaming goodness in this thing, real substance, and it's communicated in an infectious and uplifting way. I mean, yeah, the Snyder Cut bit that I read, that's having a laugh at the Martha thing from Batman v Superman, which is 10 years old now. But it is also communicating that the space vegetable elf does care about the people who raised it and can form empathic bonds with other humans. Now, maybe I'm just weird, but to me, doing it like he did helps that information stick in your brain much easier than simply writing, "The space vegetable elf does care about the people who raised it and can form empathic bonds with other humans," in the middle of some text block describing its personality. I mean, yeah, it's absolutely hilarious as the referee to read this stuff, and hilarious to then run it for players, but maybe I forget to mention that on the player end, this shit's gonna be a nightmare. See, Kelvin's entire presentation is a smokescreen. He is a tonal magician using misdirection to lead you to your doom. See, the writing and presentation are totally lighthearted. All the little jokes, puns, and references are well amusing, and enough of that is player-facing so they might be led to think, "Oh, this is a ha-ha fun adventure we're having." And they'll let their guard down. But it's not a ha-ha fun adventure. Kelvin's adventures are just as challenging, just as threatening as anybody's, but his presentation is so fluffy with an utter lack of mean-spiritedness that nobody realizes their peril until it's too late. Even the nastiest work he's done for LOTFP, Midwinter and Fishfuckers. Okay, maybe not Fishfuckers. Just come across as good, wholesome fun if you don't stop to think about it. A rubber ducky glove on an iron fist, that's Kelvin Green. So there is the comic horror. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say comic horror? Sorry. I meant cosmic horror. There's the cosmic horror that players have to deal with, but of course there are additional complications to the situation around this unfortunate rural area. Those complications are other people. There are bandits who are wanting to recover some treasure they'd stashed in the area. There are some religious fanatics that thinks the space vegetable elf is the second coming of Christ, and they behave accordingly. Then there are the Clarks, who are good, wholesome country folk and genuinely love their adopted son. And last but not least are the Men in Black of the Royal Horticultural Society, who are tasked to investigate strange plant activity and neutralize it if it's a threat. Of course, you should focus more on the Men in Black portion of that than the Royal Horticultural Society bit. Of course. So it's a giant mash of cosmic horror and monster of the week, and a social adventure. It'll be a tricky thing for the players to navigate and succeed without A, being replaced by carrots, B, not having good people be collateral damage in any attempt to save the world, and C, not making enemies of the more occult elements of the British government. I don't understand how this book didn't sell out immediately and get Wizards of the Coast to hire Kelvin to put him in charge of everything. Every damn thing over there. He's absolutely mad in all the best senses of the term. I mean, pick up anything he'd done, anything, and you'll find it's all delightful. How many things in this world do you think inspire me to use the word delightful? Yes, I made that comment earlier, but it amuses me that I wrote that same thing twice and didn't notice it at first. And I'm so amused that I'm both leaving it in and pointing it out. But alas, nothing is perfect. There are always things that, in hindsight, could have been done better. The village this takes place in and around is Town Littleworth. It's a real place, and it's in South Oxfordshire. Why didn't Kelvin pick someplace in Kent? Then the family could have been the Clarks of Kent. But no, they're in South Oxfordshire. We can't have nice things. And that's it. That's all I got. That's the only thing keeping this adventure from being perfect. Although, I will address a criticism that I think is unfounded. Kelvin's art style is stylized. In an age where we're expecting photorealism in our RPG artwork, and I've seen people make the argument that it's not good. And that's rubbish, and I'll use 3 pieces from this book to make my point. First, and this is where I should have put bookmarks in this damn thing. First one is this picture. If you've seen the movie, you know what that is. Mission successful. Then we have the cover image. And there is a full color version just inside. But I thought the more selectively colored one would pop more as cover art. Regardless of which you prefer, it is undeniable that the picture is tight, it's evocative, and absolutely fitting the content of the book. As well it should when the author and the artist, is the same person. And it's technically marvelous as well. I mean, I can't believe I'm talking to internet trolls who are obviously blind and stupid, but let's see how close I can get. Look at the line work. Just look at it. And I didn't think this part through very well, but, looking at the line work, do you think it's a complete accident or coincidences that the branches in the background, and the light, there we go. Do you think it's a coincidence that the branches in the background are all less detailed, that the lines defining them are thinner than the foreground branches? This is the intentional style of a skilled artist. I really need to think through these presentations better. But if that still doesn't convince you, yeah, you're thick as shit, but the kill shot is in this book. So now I got to show you the picture of the bandits. Where the fuck are the bandits? There they are. There are the bandits. You can clearly and instantly grasp their personalities from their postures and their facial expressions. That means it's good art. Maybe the style's not to your preference, but when an artist can so clearly communicate information like this, you can't say the art is bad. I've even seen someone say, and get a bunch of likes on it, this was a long time ago, maybe it's even in the G+ days, I don't remember, that the art looks low effort. And I think that's actually complimentary towards Kelvin. Let me demonstrate that. First, you there, you watching this, come up with 4 original characters right now. Just some broad character idea. It doesn't have to be complicated. We don't need backstory. Just 4 stock character ideas. Now think of a personality trait or 2 for each. Just something simple. Just something simple. Now, draw them. Seriously. Draw them and communicate their different personalities in that drawing. I'm serious, do that. Okay? You're going to do that, and I'll wait while you do that. Get to it. Okay. So, what have you got? Does your drawing successfully communicate the distinct personalities of the characters in the picture? Show me. Point your phone at your picture. I pay for the fancy YouTube plan that gives me access to your phone camera and mic while you're watching my videos. Yes, that's a thing. So show me. You did it? Congratulations, you're a real artist. Did you do it easily? Well, then congratulations, you're a great artist, like Kelvin. Now shut the fuck up. So yes, I enthusiastically endorse the purchase of Green Messiah. Links to the LOTFP US and EU web stores are in the video description below. But don't sleep on Kelvin's work in general. I mean, what have we got in print? Winnie the Shit, Magic Eater, Beware, The Curious Conundrum of the Conflated Condottiero, Terror in the Streets, and the Big Terror in the Streets box set. I think the box set's just available from the EU web store. Forgive Us, and Strict Time Records Must Be Kept. That last one I think is only available in the US store. So, that's it. And I know this is not the first video I've made hyping Kelvin up, and it won't be the last. And no, I didn't go back to check to see if I'm repeating myself. Why would I do that? You can stand to hear it again every year or two. So, I don't know how Kelvin would rank on the stuffy, ooh, this is top quality kind of scale, but as far as completely gameable entertainment and actual and not superficial fun, Kelvin blows everyone away. He blows me away, blows Zach away, Ezra, anyone in the industry actually. The only person that can match him is Rienz, but Rienz is wasting his time being an educator and having a career, and so is severely impairing his potential, leaving Kelvin Green to be the undisputed champion of the world.